Our next setting is discrimination level. You'll see when I push the menu button, the discrimination indicator highlighted, and when you turn your knob up, you'll see slashes and black bars advancing as you turn it up. So you can tell at a glance, looking at your screen, what this setting is, even if it's gone back to the hunt mode and you don't see this number here anymore. The notch setting works in conjunction with the discrimination setting, and it's completely opposite one another. If you dial in like tabs, if you have your discrimination setting maxed at 65, and then you go to notch and you notch nickels, then you just accepted nickels. You're rejecting everything at 65, but you just accepted nickels. But if you go back and turn your discrimination level back to 0 in notch, now you're rejecting nickels. It's just exactly the opposite of your discrimination setting. Our next setting is the tones, and it's got quite a wide variety of tone options. The default is 3. We get on to 1. 1 is just a simple monotone. There's no modulation whatsoever. Everything pretty much sounds the same. If you go up to 1F, then you get a modulated response. You still get one tone, but it'll change in pitch and frequency depending on the size of the target, your sweep speed over the target, how far away you are from the target. Gives you a little stronger audio clues as to what the target might be. And again, with a few hours in the field, you become really confident in that nature, and you'll be able to tell a lot more what's under your coil with that particular mode. The next one's my personal favorite. It's 2F. 2F essentially gives you a high tone for non-ferrous metals and a low tone for ferrous metals, such as iron, nails, square nails, rusty items, things of that nature. This is probably the preferred mode of relic hunters, because you don't have to look at the screen in this mode. You just essentially dig the high tones and ignore everything else. A lot less eyes on the screen, a lot more goodies in your pouch. The 3H tones is essentially a 3-tone audio mode, but the nickels produce a high tone in this mode. So you'll dig nickels right along with all your other higher conductive coins. .4H is essentially the same as 3H, but it adds another mid-high tone. Nickels, again, will still produce a high tone in this mode, just like they do in 3H. 4 is just standard 4 tones, a low, medium, medium-high, and a high tone. Then we have delta pitch, which is a true tone ID. It assigns a different tone to every target you dig, depending on its conductivity. So you have a really versatile audio menu to choose from to tailor to your liking, versus some machines that just go beep over the target. It gives you a lot more clues when you're digging. Now we come to the interesting stuff, the processes. They've included 4 different processes on this machine. The first one is the default mode. It's the one that will give you the best all-around performance on any given hunting site. That's the one you'll probably most likely choose 99% of the time. The next one is JE. JE is extremely sensitive to low conductors, and it actually makes the F75 quite a capable nugget shooter. Next we have bottle cap mode, and what this does is it tries to enhance the sounds, or actually the opposite of enhance. It tries to give bottle caps a more broken, unique tone, so you're less apt to dig more of them when you're out in the field. Plowed field mode. What this does is it essentially mimics a 2-filter machine, some of the best 2-filter machines on the market, as a matter of fact, and it helps the machine cope with uneven terrain. So your responses are smoother and more even when you're out in areas like plowed fields with extremely uneven ground terrain. Now, plowed field mode and bottle cap mode won't have the performance enhancements or characteristics that JE or DE will have, but those 2 modes do give you a more well-rounded machine and allow you to tailor your machine to the different sites you're going to hunt in. So it makes it really versatile. It makes it extremely easy machine to use in a variety of different circumstances. Let's pop over to the all metal portion of it. You have two all metal. You have a stat mode and you have a motion mode. And the motion mode is just what it denotes. It's a nice auto-tune, nice smooth all metal motion mode that you might want to use if you're out in a highly mineralized soil for maximum depth and sensitivity. The nice thing about the all metal motion mode on this particular machine is it gives you an ID just like it does in discriminant mode. So you will encounter circumstances in the field where you require that mode for the ultimate in performance. And it's extremely handy mode. The stat mode is a non-motion all metal mode. It's used primarily for cache hunting, large, deep objects. Now when you're in stat mode, you'll find that if you're moving from sun to shade, if the temperature on the coil changes, if the ground changes, you're going to want to retune every now and then. And all you have to do is squeeze the trigger and it retunes the threshold to keep the machine stable in that mode. It's an extremely good mode for large, deep objects. The next setting we have is the threshold, which I guess the best way to describe that, it's just simply another sensitivity adjustment. It adjusts the threshold where the target responses can break through, essentially. And what you'll find is, can you hear that? As you turn the threshold up, you'll notice it gets a lot louder. And that will enhance deep, faint targets. The downside is, if you're in an extremely trashy area, it'll probably almost make the machine unusable because it'll enhance a lot of small, trashy targets as well. So another benefit of having threshold control is I can actually turn the threshold negative, and I can actually get rid of some of those little tiny pieces of foil, tiny unwanted targets that I might not want to hear or are driving me nuts. Again, it's extremely handy to have full threshold control in all metal. Audio pitch. Now you probably can't hear that very well. I know I can't. Let me grab a target here and demonstrate that to you. Some of us don't have the best hearing in the world, and everybody's hearing isn't the same. See how that changes? That's a standard 58 caliber mini ball right there. What that'll allow you to do, depending on your headphones, what you use, whether or not you use headphones at all, it'll allow you to tailor the machine to an audio level that's more to your liking. Make it much more comfortable.